Okay, Deanna, we have got some synoptics to talk about. The weather is doing what it needs to do. Also, by the way, Daniel, I'm kind of guessing at what I'm looking at because I can't see it on screen right now. But we have got a surface low pressure building over here. Winds are actually being pulled all the way from the Gulf way up into that low. But here's the real weather maker, and here's what we're going to be dealing with in Acadiana is this high pressure that's meandering over Florida right now. Heat is going to be pulled into it, which is going to allow it to build, and it's going to meander its way slowly into Louisiana, and it's going to be giving us a lot of heat to deal with this week. A little bit heat wave, as they say. Taking a look at the Doppler radar, not much right now. We had a couple little storms that were in Rapides Parish that got a warning, but here more around Acadiana, it doesn't seem like we have the dynamics to support the storms. Really, the only way to watch it has been visually. I kind of have to like look outside and use my meteorology to see what the clouds are doing because we don't have the weather balloons to know what the atmosphere looks like. But rainfall total over the last 48 hours ended up being about what we expected, where some areas, you can see in Lafayette, just half an inch, not a big deal amount of rain, but look offshore, we've got 4 inches. I had some areas with almost 6, so plenty of rain that occurred and went on. What does the graph think is going to happen? I think this model is doing a really decent job. I was surprised by the way that the storms were moving today. However, I do think it has the idea right, where we see weather really decreasing tomorrow. We're going to have much more limited storms, which means we're going to have more heat. So we'll be seeing that as that high pressure builds in. Look, I got it on the map for y'all. We see that building in on Monday. What happens when you have a high pressure overhead is it compresses the air. So all the air gets pushed down. You don't get a lot of cloud cover. You don't get rain, and those temperatures just skyrocket. Now we're looking at potentially Tuesday having the highest temperatures. For Acadiana to be an excessive heat warning, we need a temperature of about 108. A lot of models are looking at about 107 right now, but the only thing that might save us is hopefully Tuesday we see some cloud cover. And if we can get some cloud cover, then temperatures will be a little bit more mitigated. Now, heaven forbid we don't get those clouds on Tuesday, it'll be even hotter. So you want to be planning for that. And here the CBC has that hatched in, where you see here down in Louisiana, we're looking warmer than normal. Average temperatures right now are 95 degrees a day. We're looking at 99 to 100 in apparent temperature, which means our heat index much higher. And there it is. You see it on Sunday where it's 104 on the coast. I mean, just extreme heat. And you'll see it again on Monday. Watch those temperatures go up again. 3 p.m. the hottest part of the day, and there they are, 107 Abbeville. I would not be surprised to see excessive heat warnings Monday, especially if we don't get those clouds, thanks to that high pressure and that heat wave that's going to form and come in over Louisiana. So you want to be prepared for that. Rain chances are going to diminish. As annoying as that rain's been, it's kept us cool, and we're going to be losing it. And you see that in our tonight and our tomorrow. And I will get to our 10-day for you, I promise. There it is. So looking at Sunday, lower rain chances, but higher temperatures Monday and Tuesday. You see that where we get into the 90s, incredibly warm. Be ready for triple-digit heat index values. And then the rain's going to come back through the end of next week. So tomorrow, mild weather, and be ready for the heat. I'll have one more look at weather coming up in just a little bit.